Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, those who are not quite sure. It is me, Marky P, your favourite DJ, radio presenter, video viralist, without his teeth, extraordinaire. And the only reason why I'm doing this today is because the last 7/8 days have been quite, let's say, eventful, stressful and emotional. So I wanted to bring to you my 6 degrees of inspiration that has brought me through it. And interestingly enough, that one word that I normally put together has been one of them, just aiming for it. Because last Friday I went through hell last Friday. But indeed, and we could probably all say this, that inevitable feeling of crunchy day. Thank funk it's Friday! I'm going to go for a big puddle. Oh my God, there's a lot of water out here. So, when I think about what has helped me through and inspired me to get through the other side of this rubbish and horribleness, one is family. Being strong and supportive for your family, and kind of, you know, where your in-laws, outlaws, laws, family are going through tricky situations, being the boss of the family, whether you're female boss or male boss, can be quite a tough job. And I can imagine it's like running a company. You have to be strong, but you have to be in touch with the people. And that is quite a challenge for me, as I'm led by my heart. So, the intimate workings of a freak's mind, indeed. But family has inspired me to get through it. You know, making sure that my family are okay is kind of all that matters. Now, friends are the other thing. And when I mean friends, it's a strange thing when I say friends, because, as I say, I mentioned a comment yesterday about social media has actually exploded my friends list to people that, you know, I should have met years and years ago because of like mind and like feeling. You know, round about the same ages. You know, if you're 40 something and a bit. It does seem that there's this mindset of people in that era that are very much alike, and I think social media is reconnecting us all with that. And I don't mean just me, I mean all of us. And it's great, it's a great feeling, and it's ironic because you do tend to find out, you know, they say who your friends are, because there is always that caring message. But even sometimes just a like, just a ping, just to say hi, those sorts of things as well. So technology is great for that sort of thing. So friends has been great too. Technology is inspiring, but at the same time can also stab you right in the back, because it has been technology that has kind of brought the light of like this Facebook phenomenon, Twitter phenomenon, so all the Twitters and Twatters and all that sort of stuff. But what you've got to think about, and welcome back for part 2. Yeah, but if you think about it, technology really will enable us to do many things, but technology, remember, is an enabler. You have the control to turn it on and off. But do we? Sometimes we say, I'm going offline, but we still hang around just to see what somebody has said after we've left. Strange that, isn't it? So, technology, I am saying, is an enabler, and it is inspiring as well. And also, one thing I'm going to say too is emotions and being able to control them. So emotionally, how your day goes really depends, I suppose, on what mood you are when you wake up in the morning. And, you know, you could be happy. Now, I'm normally a lot happier on Friday. Last Friday I wasn't happy because I had people shouting at me last Friday, and they were shouting at me through no fault of my own, for me actually helping people out, but clearly the blame game kind of gets twisted and so on. So didn't have a very good Friday last Friday. So I wanted to turn that around to make this Friday an example to that Friday. Sounds strange? Yes, indeed. So the bottom line is, with your 6 degrees of inspiration, I'm only up to 4, and it gets to the point where you're thinking, okay, how are you going to now twist and finish this? Well, the last 2 for me, believe it or not, are other people. So these are people I actually know physically, and I've met them in real life and have you know, have had interactions with them and talked to them. And so they're the physical ones. The other ones are the virtual online ones that I might have only met once, that I might have only interacted with a few times. It's the same thing with, and I'm not going to give a big push for my radio show at all here, but for me, the radio show for me is a release, as like any hobby would be, and it is a hobby. You know, and the interaction that I have with like-minded people, in a way, in the virtual world, is quite, I would probably say, addictive, because, you know, there are sometimes you can shout at somebody in uppercase text, and although they could take it personally, it could just be all part of a laugh. So the good thing is with that you have distance, so you add a little bit of distance between that, textual, but at the same time it can also be quite hurting as well. And I think that goes back to my point about it depends in what mood you're actually in. If you're in a sensitive mood when you wake up in the morning and somebody's actually sending a big text to you, then you feel hurt. But at the same time, if you're in a mischievous mood and somebody shouted text, you're probably laughing, thinking it's funny, stuff like that. So a very strange deep dive into the workings of a madman. But I just thought I'd share that with you, my 6 degrees of inspiration for a Thank Funk It's Friday. Have a great weekend, people. I love you all. Peace and light.